Okay, let's see. Let me adjust my mic here. Alright. How's it going, everybody? Hello, Daniel. Happy Memorial Day weekend to you. Happy Memorial Day weekend, everybody. Yeah, so the ARCA race is finishing up here. Really bummed for that 31 team, Mitch Gibson. I met those guys down in Daytona. They were just incredibly nice, incredibly great people, and I hate that one of their cars got damaged. Really hard-working guys, though. Just had a blast getting to know those guys down in Daytona. But yeah, good evening. Obviously, I will be discussing Sunday Night Lights, the post-race. A week in delay, but, just had some stuff going on, work schedule and all that. I just wasn't able to. So, excuse me. Just figured tonight would be a good night to do so. That's right, Gus Dean won at Daytona. Okay. Here I am trying to figure out who won Daytona because I was there. But yeah. So Gus Dean, William Sawalich, Jake Finch, Connor Zilic, Connor Mosak. I gotta say, Connor Zilic, man, he is a gem. Trackhouse, they lucked out. They lucked out. Alright, let me see if I can adjust something here. Okay. And I wanted to see if I could fix the, You could, yeah, it was at 1 a.m. because, yeah, that's right, because the ARCA race was supposed to run Saturday afternoon, and because it decided to Daytona turned into a monsoon for 2 days straight, they moved the ARCA race to Friday night after the truck race. Oh, man, was I tired. And then, Saturday came, rain. Sunday came, rain. And then Monday, then comes Monday, they moved the Xfinity race to after the Daytona 500. And, that was wild, but I'm glad things still worked out. And for a Monday, the crowd was great and everything else. So there's 8 laps to go. Coming to the line, Tanner Gray and Kitzmiller on the front row. This will be an interesting restart. Carson Quaffle is restarting 4th. Might as well just talk about the end of the ARCA race real quick. Will Kimmel's way up there. How about Will Kimmel, man? It's nice to see him back out there racing. He's ran great all day. He's been in the top 10. For a team like him, that's a pretty solid run. And obviously, Kimmel, that's a big name in ARCA. Obviously, 10-time champion Frank Kimmel. No, don't put him in the wall. Oh, gosh, I think that was LeVar Scott. That was close. So now it's Tanner Gray, Perez, and Quaffle, the top 3. 7 to go. And Quaffle has been nearly unbeatable. The weather for the Indy 500 does not look promising. Yeah, I'm actually going to the Indy 500, so I'm almost expecting the race to be ran on a Monday. So, I don't know. It's funny because, whoa, geez, okay, I thought Quaffle was going to run over Perez for a moment there. Plan is Tuesday, I will be driving to St. Louis because I'm visiting my father and my family, but also my dad and I will be going to Gateway again for a 3rd time in a row. So, really excited about Gateway. Should be a fun weekend. I'm sure there'll be a good crowd on hand again, and looking forward to it. I know Red Bull has treated him bad, but damn, Perez already got an ARCA ride. I know, right? Like, good lord. Yep, here comes Quaffle to probably take the lead and run away with it. He's looking to the inside, not able to get him off 2. Tanner Gray trying to hang on. I have no relation to him or Taylor that I know of. But, yeah. I'll wait a few more minutes and then I'll discuss. Here I'm trying to do 50 things at once. I will share my stream. I need to fix that thumbnail. I don't know if I'm able to at the moment. I do apologize. But anyway, I hope you're all having a wonderful Friday evening. How many laps? Okay, they're coming to 3 to go. Tanner Gray trying to hang on for dear life. Carson Quaffle goes up high, coming off turn 4. The only other time I remember actually ever reacting to a race was the 2020 Kentucky Cup race, because I remember, because I was like, well, I'm not able to go because of the really sucky thing that happened that year, so I was like, well, this is probably the next best thing to do. Of course, I had that insane finish there with Cole Custer. At 4 wide at the line. Man, that was nuts. Ooh, lap car. They cleared him. A couple lap cars at the inside. Tanner Gray coming off turn 4, coming to 2 laps ago. Oh, good. Con Nicolopoulos was able to stay on the track. That's good. I know he was involved in that wreck as well. So, we are live. Yeah, we'll react to the truck race. I hope it doesn't run too long, because I have to go into work at 4:30 a.m. So, but I'll be fine. I promise. That being said, white flag for Mr. Tanner Gray. Into turns 1 and 2. Carson Quaffle back by about 5 car lengths, I believe it is. Down the back straightaway. Has Tanner Gray even won an ARCA race? I don't know if he has. I'll have to look that up. Into 3 and 4. Off turn 4. Checkered flag waves, and Tanner Gray will win at Charlotte. Tanner Gray wins it. Carson Quaffle second. Perez in third. Will Kimmel got fourth. Let's go. All right. Attaboy, Will. That's cool. Good run for Will Kimmel. That's pretty awesome. That's a pretty good run for him. Oh, man, that's awesome. So, yeah, Tanner Gray picking up the win in the ARCA race there for in the number 18 car. So, Carson Quaffle coming up short. It seemed like to me, was it the good old blow a tire win? Oh, gosh. All right, so LeVar Scott 5th, Gustine 6th, Dean Thompson 7th, Lawless Allen 8th, Jason Kitzmiller 9th, and Arias in 10th. I don't know that name. I apologize. But yeah, what a win for what a win for Tanner Gray there. That might be his first ARCA win. Honestly, I think it is. Which honestly, good for him. Good breakthrough win for him. So happy for him to get a win like that. Let me check Tanner Gray. Hop on good old racing reference here and see if I can figure out. Let's do this. ARCA. Yep, that is his first ARCA win, and I think his first National Series win in general. Actually, no, he picked up an East win in 2019. Okay, he picked up an East win in 2019. Gotcha. Okay. Still, good win for Tanner Gray. Very good win for him. So yeah, we'll get to the truck race here later. We can all sit down and watch that together. Besides that, I'm here to talk about some fun stuff like Sunday Night Lights, talk about Restart and how I pieced that all together. Obviously, ask any questions. I'm here. So, yeah, please ask away. I am here, and obviously, if it involves future SNL stuff, I will answer them the best way that I can. Sorry I'm late. I had to save a cat that was stuck in a tree. Oh, gosh. Is that cat all right? That poor cat. I know my roommate has a cat, but he's just kind of laying down right now in the living room. Oddly enough, my 2 roommates are heading to California for the weekend. They're going to go see some Giants baseball and stuff like that. So, yeah. Okay, so it's his first ARCA national win for Tanner Gray. That's cool. Good for him. Glad to see him finally earn a win there. Obviously, Carson Quaffle has really been coming into his own. He's put on really good performances in the Xfinity Series, and obviously this race here. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, you have a cat too. That's nice. That's nice. I was a I'm big on rabbits. I've had a history with rabbits. They're adorable. I just love rabbits. That's all I can say there. Um, okay. So with that being said, it was trying to go to the Garfield movie. Yes, that's what it was trying to do. It wanted to see Garfield. I have not seen Garfield. I have not seen Garfield. I remember. It was several years ago, but they did like a live action one. You know what I mean? They did like a live action one. I remember seeing that one in theaters. That was like, I want to say late 2000s or something like that. Had to have been. I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Yep. So you've seen a few teasers for '98, and I can say there are some big plans coming for big things coming for 1998. And obviously it's going to be a big year because this is NASCAR's 50th anniversary too. And I will say that this week I've already painted some cars, and some of them look pretty good. I'm really excited on how some of them have come out. So. When did JD McDuffie retire? So McDuffie's still alive, of course. I had him retire in the early 90s, but he still races on and off. He's been running in the Super Sportsman Series because I feel like he would just race because he loves it. He loves just going out there, and even if he's running in the back, just going out there and doing it because he loves doing it. I feel like McDuffie's that kind of a guy to do it. So that's kind of where my mindset was on that. I have seen the 2004 build. Was it that long ago? Oh my god. 2004, same year I started watching NASCAR. Good lord. I was 7 years old then. Oh man. Can't believe it's been 20 years. To think it all started because I rented NASCAR Thunder 2003 from this place called Blockbuster. I should be careful. I don't want to start getting called a boomer up in here, but yeah. So yeah, Richard Petty. Yeah, 97 was interesting with him because Matt Kenseth had that. He and Kenseth had that great. That great finish at Martinsville, and then he goes on to win at North Wilkesboro. Petty does. So I remember sitting there going, I don't know how this happened, but you know what? Sometimes the stories just write themselves, and that's what's great fun about Sunday Night Lights is being able to create those stories. It's not just me saying like, "Oh, hey, Rob Moroso did da 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 da," and damn millennial, hey. But yeah, it's just more of the fact that it's not me saying like, "Oh, Alan Kowicki would do this, this, and this." This is what 17 seasons we've done of rewriting racing history, and NASCAR looks so much different, right? It's going to continue to look so much different going down the road. I will say this about part 2 because I've not said this yet. It was a long, tiring process, but I managed to make a 2-hour and 11-minute video, a feature-length kind of video in 2 weeks. I don't know how I did it, and I know I had a couple editing mistakes. I had like the UI show up for the game at one point. I do apologize for that. Did not catch that. My bad. But still, really happy with how the videos came out. It was a long process, but it's worth it because this is a great way to reintroduce Sunday Night Lights in a better way, like I talked about before. And with part 1, it was a little more difficult because the reason was because I wish I was smart enough back then to have I didn't realize till later. I'm like, oh, I should probably save and back up these replay files in case I ever need them. No joke. I have a couple of these Seagate backup hard drives. One of them is full of all the footage and replays that I've had in the past. Luckily, I had a few replays saved. I'm glad I had the 81 500 saved. I had the 84 500 saved. And a few random ones that I had saved from those early years. And then it wasn't really until about 88, 89 when I actually went, oh, hey, I was a little consistent. So ever since then, I just kept saving the replays because, I never knew whenever I may need them. And guess what? They came in handy, and in the future they'll probably come in handy. So, in my opinion, it's important to keep that stuff if you're doing something like this. So, word of advice to anyone who does something like this down the road, which I heavily support. I would love to see other people come up with their own stories and timelines with this game. That's what makes this game so much fun and special, and why it's so relevant after 21 years. This game is still being used by many people. It's free. People are able to make tracks, make cars, make mods. I've told people at work about the stuff I do, and they were actually quite fascinated by it. Which, shameful plug here, but some of them even bought merch. In case I do have some Gray Speed merch if you're interested. The links are in the description of the videos. I'll let you know about that. Meanwhile, ARCA, they're interviewing Will Kimmel, 4th place. I remember I remember when he made his Cup debut, because he ran like a couple of random Cup races in, I want to say 2015, because the first one was at Kentucky, which makes sense. The Kimmels are from Clarksville, Indiana. It's right across the river from Louisville, so it makes sense. So he drove for Go Fast, the 32 car at the time. But I just remember him making his first Cup start. But really cool to see Will Kimmel back in action. That's cool. And again, I point out with McDuffie and SNL, I'll say it about ARCA too. There's just a lot of guys that volunteer and they do this because they love this. They love this stuff. And, I know people talk about like, Venturini and Pinnacle have all the development guys. Yeah, but I got to respect those smaller teams like Rise Motorsports and, guys like Brayton Laster who are just working their tail off because they love doing what they do and they want to get there. They want to continue to get any opportunity that they can. And because this is, racing's for anybody, right? It's for something that everybody can enjoy. Sorry, I'm getting off topic here. Again, we'll react to the Truck Series race when that kicks off here in about 40 minutes. Yeah, something like that. What's in store for Bubba Nissen? Well, he's a champion. Definitely a Hall of Famer. So, I'm sure he's going to look to chase another championship. I think he's got a lot left in him for sure. Let's see. Will Kelly Earnhardt's car change? We'll figure that out. I will say that I have been making sure that I pay close attention to logos. There's a site called Logopedia that actually has a lot of history of logos for cars and stuff, so I can keep track of, okay, so, I need to change the logo on this car because this year they changed it this way and stuff like that. So it's, that's something, when you have to update the cars over the years and stuff. Speaking of updating, I'm not going to give too much away. How do I word this? For 98, came across with this really, really unique idea to help build this timeline and to help build and add on to the story, right? So basically, I plan on doing some, how do I put it, visual updates to some tracks. That's all I'll say there. Okay, one more thing. Most likely, I will not be able to publicly release those because I did not make those tracks, and I respect the people who have made those tracks, of course. That's just the thing, because I don't want to get in trouble, make people mad. Never want to do that, ever. But there's some really cool ideas, and if it could all come together, I think it'd be really cool. So be on the lookout for that. Who do you think would be named on the 50 greatest drivers in this timeline? Ooh, you know what? That could be a fun little thing to try. If I have time for it, like just list some differences, like who would be in this list compared to real life. I know I have that book. I don't know where it is. It's either in my little storage area downstairs or it's at my dad's place. I'm not sure where, but I remember I got that book as a kid. That's an interesting question, though, Daniel. That's a really interesting question. I did not think about that. So, that'd be cool, right? Surely there's some different names on there that deserve to be on there. Yeah, God, I can't get over how North Wilkesboro turned it into a lake when it rained last weekend. Goodness gracious. Yeah, Logopedia's been a huge help when it comes to having to update certain cars and sponsors and all that fun stuff. When it comes to the replays, too, I talked about the replays a bit ago. Make sure you also have the correct car files, or else you'll just get a blank, generic car. So, and then, thank God I had all those cars backed up, too, because I was like, oh, where are they? So, I was able to find them, which really helped. So, part 2, in my opinion, was a little bit easier than part 1, just because I knew I didn't have to recreate certain things. I can go back and just use those replays and show them in a better way. I've been getting better with using FreeCam. I figured out a fun little zoom option that it has that I really like. You probably saw it a little bit in part 2, so I really like how all that came out. What is your favorite Sunday Night Lights finish? Oh, man. That's a tough one. I should go back and find like the closest finishes. Obviously, the 84 500 to me was always an iconic one, just because that's when I knew, like, wow, a lot has changed now, because Dale Earnhardt now has a Daytona 500 win much sooner than in real life. Not only that, he has 3 Daytona 500 wins compared to 1998 when he finally won it. So, gosh, man, there's some good ones. Like I said, the Michigan track that I've been using puts on a lot of good finishes. Like 91, you saw that, Rob Moroso got his first career win by, I think it was 4 1,000ths of a second over Bill Elliott. So I remember I looked back on that. It's like, oh, hey, that's a major talking point, considering the fact that was right after I was doing all that after the Kansas race where, we had the closest finish. So I don't know if that, I cannot fully confirm if that is the closest finish I've had in SNL, because they officially did not do scoring loops until 93. But since, in our 2003, I could say for a fact that might be the closest finish. I could be wrong. There might be closer finishes, and that's just something I'll have to go back and see for. But I'd say as of right now, unofficially, that might be. But I'd have to go back and check. So, I'm trying to think what else with Restart. Let me take a drink of this Baja Blast. That's better. Talking about, Restart, I think it's just a perfect way to reintroduce the series and introduce the series to people who haven't seen it before. And I've already had some comments from people who said, like, hey, I've never seen this before, this is really cool, and I'm like, oh, that's good, that was the purpose of it all. So, yeah. So, yeah, we're already getting to work on 1998 as well. A lot of good stuff is coming along. Some of the cars been coming along really well. I think you'll like what you see. Ricky Rudd, yeah, and what's even more fascinating with Ricky Rudd is the fact that 84 he was so close, right? And finally, all those years later, he finally wins it. It was 96, I think. Yeah, it was 96. And how timely, right? Ricky Rudd just got inducted into the Hall of Fame in real life. So, congrats to him. Carl Edwards got inducted. That's pretty cool. They're showing highlights of qualifying. Tyler Ankrum going for a spin coming off turn 4. We're at a very interesting time. Let me see this. From Patty Moyes to Rob Moroso to Mark Thompson to Bobby Labine to Greg Sachs. Yeah. And J.D. McDuffie, too. And I think Trevor Boyce at one point. So, yeah. This Michigan track I've been using, it's I think it's called Michigan 1990. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to, move on from it because it's been providing just fun racing overall. So much, it kind of races like Daytona and Talladega, but in its own unique way. My best moment in SNL so far is 1994 and 97 when... Hold on. Seasonal allergies, man. They suck. Yeah, tell me some of your all's favorite SNL moments. I'd love to hear it from you guys. There's all sorts of ones I can list, but I'd love to hear them from you guys. Obviously, when I did the 94 500 and I had Shauna win, I was thinking, okay, I'll have Shauna. She just won the Busch Championship. Well, obviously, I got to give her some cup races, right? So I'll do that. All right, I'll let her run the 500. Oh, she won. Okay. Okay, we're going down this route. So I sat there, thought to myself, okay, this happened in real life. This would be a huge deal. This would be major. This would be big, I don't know how else to say it. It would have been massive, and it's really cool to see drivers like Patty and Shauna, and I always thought about what if Kelly Earnhardt continued her racing career. Well, thanks to the success of Patty and Shauna, and the climate is so much better for female drivers in this timeline, then it's obvious we had to. And I said it in a way to where she ran part-time for a couple years so she could finish up her stuff at college, and now she is she's rocking it in the Cup Series already with a couple of wins. Oh, the drivers only broadcast this tomorrow. They got Carson Hocevar involved. Good. Hocevar cracks me up. I'm starting to like that guy a lot more. That's funny. The rise of female winners. Okay. The championship battle in 97. I know the IMSA Stock GT had a tiebreaker. Of course, Jeff Braben winning the title there. The Cup Series, on the other hand, was pretty much nothing but Rusty Wallace. 96 was fun with Moroso and Nissen. Nissen being... He's been interesting because it's I remember sitting there going, who is this guy? I looked and was like, oh, he ran in the Busch Series in the mid-'80s. Well, he's done a lot more than that in this timeline. So that's the beauty of this timeline, too, is you never know who's going to become a star, right? I don't know. Stanton Barrett could become a Cup champion in this timeline, or John Nemechek. You never know, right? You can't assume that, look at Dale Jarrett. He hasn't panned out. Though he had, he had a bit of a resurgence in 97 with the Busch Series. Be on the lookout for him in 98, I would say. I'll leave it as that. The rise of female drivers has been great, and obviously there's definitely more to come, for sure. I also love Patty Moyes winning the International All-Star. Yeah, that one in particular, that was doing the International All-Star itself was something we had 2 years in the making. I heard a story that Dallas, Texas bidded for the 2012 Olympics. So did my home city of Cincinnati, by the way. Anyway, sorry, I had to point that out. Dallas bidded, and part of that bid was the idea of trying to do this international exhibition race at Texas Motor Speedway. So that got us thinking, like, hey, what if we did this for Atlanta 96? Right? It's perfect. And what do you know? I think it all worked out really well. You saw Kenny Brack suddenly out of nowhere in a petty car, a second petty car, going out there and winning the International Open, which we sat there and went, okay, that's kind of a big deal because he's out there racing an F3000. And it's like, well, we ought to give him a shot, see what he does in NASCAR. So I think he's been putting together some solid results. Obviously keep an eye out on him to see what happens, right? For those that don't know, I wrote, Jet did do that. He did write Bubba Nissen's Wikipedia article. That's in SNL terms, 1996 Cup Series champion Bubba Nissen. There is no picture of Bubba Nissen. I think Ferris or somebody like that actually found a picture of him. I think. I'll have to go back and look. But I could have sworn that there is a picture. I may have to post it at some point and say, like, this is the man. This is the mystery man. Does auto racing become an Olympic sport in 2000? Let's see. So that's Sydney. How do I put this? I am interested in doing it again for sure. Obviously, we'll have to see where everything lies. I think with 96 being a success, why not do it again, right? So, I don't know about an Olympic sport in general, but doing the International All-Star again is certainly a possibility. I know for, what was it? For the 2028 Olympics, they were trying to get auto racing involved, and unfortunately it didn't make the cut. I was really bummed about that because I think that would have been really cool. I want to see that happen, I was like, man, Sunday Night Lights almost predicted the future. Some way, somehow. So, yeah. Will the Travis Carter 23 team get a new sponsor? I don't know yet. We're still in the planning stages, painting cars and all that. There's still a lot of stuff in the planning and stuff like that. So, but we're coming along pretty fast. We're coming along pretty good. Yeah, speaking of Racing Infinity, stay tuned for that because I will be revealing what Racing Infinity 25 will be about. So I will reveal that here shortly. So stay tuned for that. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else to talk about with Restart. I think I've covered the basics and everything else. Like I said, it's a long process, but it's in the end, it's definitely rewarding, and it's fun for me to be able to share the story in a better way of what's happened so far. Now we can kind of continue off of that when we head into 1998, and like I said, ideally I want to do 98, 99 by the end of this year. So, and then jump into 2000 after that. Which is a heck of an accomplishment on its own to get that far in this timeline. And I want to keep going, I want to get through the 2000s, through the 2010s, and heck, even into the 2020s. That's something I want to do. They just talked about the trip for the Truck Series, and I'll be at one of those races for Gateway, so looking forward to that next weekend. I think the lack of updates for the Auto Club short track could be a contributing factor as to why. I don't know. I don't think so. I think, because usually each sport has like the governing body. I think the FIA was in on that, which I don't know what that would have meant for like guys in NASCAR. But I don't think Auto Club necessarily was a factor. I think it's just, they did a vote. The committee, like the IOC, I think, did a vote, and they just happened to not get it. Which, again, it sucks because I think it could work. I think you could do something like, obviously, we did the International All-Star, but what if you did something like an endurance race? kind of like the 24 Hours of Daytona, but instead, you got some Team USA cars, Team Canada cars, Team Great Britain cars, Team Germany cars, Spain, Australia, racing up against each other to see which country's drivers come out on top. And there's other ways of doing it too, but in terms of what areas you could have done, even if the whole Auto Club thing doesn't work out, and hopefully it does. Hopefully we get some updates on that soon. Obviously NASCAR still has some land to put a short track in what they have over there. I think they could. Let me think here. There's Sonoma. There's Willow Springs. There's. Yeah, I don't know if Long Beach is going to be able to work just because they might be using it for other stuff, but there are options. I do believe. So, hey, Ben Rhodes, Louisville, Kentucky. Anyway, I've actually met Ben Rhodes several times in the past. Pretty cool guy. I propose we call it the World Grand Prix and use it as an opportunity to promote alternate fuels. Yeah, that's totally a great idea. We're not going to get any spy stuff involved or anything. I'm creating a car set for the Paris Olympics. Oh, that's neat. I don't want to give anything away or anything, but it would be really cool to do like a Racing Infinity video that the theme is based around the Olympics. That would be for later in the summer, of course, when we get closer to the Olympic Games. Neil Bonnet was truly an underrated driver. I'm glad his career lasted longer. Yeah, he had his ups and downs, but he also had some good moments, and he definitely had a late career resurgence. And now, obviously, seeing David Bonnet, who won the Super Sportsman Championship for 97, it's going to be interesting to see what he does next. I think I am going to stick with that canon that Neil Bonnet goes into broadcasting full-time after he retires, and I think he does call his son winning the championship, because the storylines, man, just imagine. Ah, man, yeah, I would love to see NASCAR run at Long Beach. I would love to see that happen, but unfortunately it looks like that's not going to happen, and it's a shame. It's a bummer, because I think, especially like IndyCar and NASCAR could share a weekend there. That would be great. Plus, it makes for a good street race for NASCAR to have in case, they're not able to get back to Chicago next year. So, just a thought, for sure. Let's see, it's 8:10. Okay. Let's see. I'll wait to see if there's any more questions, and then I will dive into talking about Racing Infinity, and then we can just kind of chill and enjoy the truck race from Charlotte and go from there. So, I will say, let me see here. I'm creating an alternate timeline called Pounding Pavement. It starts at the 1992 Hooters 500. Oh, that's neat. That's really cool. I'm looking forward to that for sure. I'd love to see more stuff like that. I think it's been in the cards that Chicago will return in 2025. Okay. I mean, I hope it does, for sure. Because I just would love to see it come back, I think something like that is really good for the sport, to do something new, do something different, and it helps create a more diverse schedule. It's not like any other road course race. This is a street race. It's on a street circuit. You're racing on streets that everybody drives on every day. So, I think that offered a new challenge for everybody involved. And then, here comes Shane Van Gisbergen from out of nowhere. Just shows up, gets in the cup car, and wins. So, I did hear about Mexico City. I think an international race is a great idea. I do think NASCAR needs to start going for that kind of stuff and try to push the brand more internationally for sure. So, yeah, that's just kind of how I see it. Let's see here. They're talking about Thor Sport Racing. We have 5 trucks entered tonight. Okay. Let me do something really quick here. Get this all set up. SVG's going to lap the entire field. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. And I am okay with that. I'm sorry. How can you hate that guy? He's out there having fun. Like, seriously. You cannot hate that man. I am totally on the SVG train. Seriously. Yeah, I've really been enjoying his time in NASCAR, and I hope he continues to get better. And he's been doing good. You know, he's put on some good results in the Xfinity Series. So, you know, since Neil Bond is still alive and doing broadcasting, does Darrell Waltrip go to Fox after he retires? I think for sure DW goes to the broadcasting, but that's one of those things where we cross that bridge when we get there. Obviously, he is at the tail end of his career. Could Raja Karuth be a dark horse candidate? Yeah, he's been wheeling it. I think he is a dark horse candidate for sure. I do believe he's been killing it, and I think he's going to continue to do so. I'd love to see him get to the championship 4 and, you know, go for the championship. I think that would be awesome. Glad he got that win, and hopefully he can add on to that for sure. Okay, make sure I have this all set in stone correctly so I don't goof this up. Here we go. So, this goes into the next point of discussion. Let's talk about Racing Infinity, the next Racing Infinity. We haven't had one of those in a minute, but I am happy to announce for the 25th edition of Racing Infinity. Man, we've done 25 of these. Give me a second here. I'm having OCD moments. Okay. With that being said, so here's the plan. We are bringing back the fan favorites. Voting is open. I just left a link there in the chat. Voting is officially open, and it will run until May 29th. I will make a community post about it and a Twitter post and stuff like that so you guys can vote. Again, voting is all the way through May 29th. So the plan is we're going to go back to the year 2007. That was a good year, wasn't it? And yeah, we're going to push its limits here. So just vote for what you want to see. This is like the one we did with Pikes Peak, simple, except for this one. We're going back to 2007 instead of current times. I'll go ahead and talk about some of the things you can vote for. Okay, there we go. So we're going to feature the 2007 Nextel Cup Series, and it will begin with the All-Star Race roster. But I want you guys to vote on this. Do you want the Gen 4 or do you want the car of tomorrow? And then also going down the list here, you have a choice to pick a pioneer driver. So, kind of like a legendary driver that, could make an appearance in this race. There's Kel Yarborough, Bobby Allison, Richard Petty, David Pearson, and Junior Johnson. Then you'll have the option to pick a recently retired driver as of 2007. So, on that list, we have Todd Bodine, Rusty Wallace, Darrell Waltrip, Ricky Craven, and Randy LaJoie. And then pick a current day, as in 2024. Pick a current day driver. Bubba Wallace, Ross Chastain, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson, and Chase Elliott. Then you have the option to pick a notable Sunday Night Lights driver. We are going all out with this. We're going all out. This is going to be a good one. Guarantee it. So pick a notable Sunday Night Lights driver. Our options there are Kelly Earnhardt, Shauna Robinson, Rob Moroso, Patty Moyes, and Bubba Nissen. And you will pick an international driver. Those choices are as follows: Scott Dixon, Kimi Raikkonen, Tony Kanaan, Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso. Two more things here. You get to pick a track. The options there are Nazareth, Memphis, IRP, Milwaukee, or, ironically enough, Mexico City. And then vote on a race format. So, do you want a standard full field race? Do you want a full field race with random draw qualifying? Do you want 2 heat races and a full field main event? Do you want 2 heat races with a last chance qualifier and then there's like a final race of 15 cars? Or do you want it SRX style with 2 full field heats and a full field main? So again, I just left it there in the chat for you guys to go ahead and vote. Voting's officially open as of now for what you want to see in Racing Infinity Volume 25. It's the return of the fan favorites, and voting is open until May 29th, the end of the day on May 29th. So you have until then to put your votes in. Again, I will make a post here after the stream. I might make it here in just a little bit. But yeah, I will make posts about it. You guys can go ahead and vote there. So that's what we got going on. Oh hey Michael, truck race picks. Let's see here. Who do I think wins today? Nice graphic. Who made it? That is a good question. Who did make that graphic? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Let me check something here. Who's all in it today? Well, I guess a safe bet's Corey Hine because he's never outside the top 5, it feels like. I think Ty Majeski could be a fun favorite. Roger Carruth for sure. Might see Connor Mozak get a win. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah. So there we go. The return of Fan Favorites 2. Or Return of Fan Favorites. Yeah. So yeah. I will make a post about that. Yeah, I'll go ahead and actually make that a community post. Why not? Let's go ahead and do that, shall we? All right. And I will have that open for you guys. Let's see. I'm trying to remember where I saved it. Here we go. Oh my god, wow, okay. I'm sorry, guys. I minimized the window on Streamlabs, and for whatever reason, it muted me. So I don't know how much of that you heard. I apologize. I was making a couple posts about it just so people can go out and vote on what they want to see in the next Racing Infinity. So I apologize for that. Wow, that's embarrassing. I don't know why it does that. It'll do that when I record stuff too. Like, I want to get audio from the game, then I go to record, and it's like, oh, the speakers thing is muted. I don't know why. I didn't even touch anything. So, yeah. So with that being said, yeah, voting is now open. There's a link there. You got until May 29th. So, yeah. So, yeah, let me know. By the way, so make your picks for the truck race. That's going to get started here shortly. I'm open here to talk about anything. I'm here to talk about whatever. You guys have any questions and stuff like that. Let's see. Do you have the stat sheets? I know I have all the results saved. I know I want to put together some sort of sheet on Google Drive for you guys, to where you're able to see every single winner from every single race I've done so far in SNL. And I know I still need to get those cars out. That's a couple things I need to work on. So I got the weekend coming up. I also have a week off coming up from work. So I will be working on putting all that together. So stay tuned for all that. Chris Showalter makes 700 start as truck chief. Oh, how about that? Man, 700 start. That's got to go all the way back. Whew, been talking a lot. Let's see. Hey, Corvette, how you doing, man? Yeah, we just been chatting about Restart and Sunday Night Lights, and I just opened up voting for the next Racing Infinity. We're bringing back the fan favorites again for volume number 25. You just did the voting? All right. Sweet. Sounds good. Yeah, I'm intrigued to see who you all choose and who you all vote for. So, voting's officially open for that. So that was the big announcement there. So yeah, if you have any questions regarding Restart or anything like that, I'm all ears. Just kind of waiting for the Truck Series race to get going here shortly. So, and we could all watch that together if you want. So, like I said, I've excuse me, I've only done one other time. I've done like react to a race. And the other time I did it was the 2020 Kentucky Cup race, because obviously that was the sucky virus year, and we had to stay in our homes, and yeah. Let's see here. All right, there we go. But yeah, I'd like to figure out like who has a certain amount of career wins, and I know I have champions listed down and all that. I'll be at the Indy 500 in person. Hey, me too. Yeah, yeah, or Monday, right? Yeah. So it's not looking promising. I'm a little concerned for Mr. Larson. I'm kind of curious how that's all going to work out. I think Hendrick has Justin Allgaier on standby, so this is something you just don't, when you do something like this, it's hard to plan for that, because you never know, right? And then you get closer to it, and you're like, but, it is what it is, right? So you just have to deal with it. But yeah, maybe I'll run into you. That'd be cool. I think me and my friends have general admission tickets, so I think we'll be watching from the infield like we did last year. Hard choice between Bubba Nissen and Patty Moyes. I kind of figured you'd vote for Nissen, but of course, you vote for who you want to vote for. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for. That's ridiculous. That sucky virus helped. It did. It did help kick off Sunday Night Lights because I just had more time. It's just like I got nothing else better to do. Thankfully, I had a job during the pandemic. Well, I didn't mean to say that word. Oh well, it is what it is. I mean, that's what happened, right? So, yeah, it did help kick it all off, and here we are. 4 years later? It's crazy that we've been doing this for 4 years, and we're gonna keep going for sure. Yeah, I think Rick Hendrick even said there's no way they're gonna pull him from the Indy 500. So, I'm not gonna lie. I want to see Larson win it. I want to see the chaos. Even if there's an open window to race and we get to lap 105 and Larson is winning, so be it. But yeah, I just man, I'd love to see Kyle Larson win the Indy 500 because I think he can do it, man. He's, you could put him in anything and he'll kick butt in. So we'll see what happens. He may have to just go to Charlotte and come back to Indy Monday. So it is what it is if that happens. I have to look up. Has the Indy 500 ever ran on a Monday? I'm pretty sure it has at some point. I think Kyle Larson might have a chance at the double sweep. You know what? That's going to happen at some point in Sunday Night Lights if I decide to dive into that with the IndyCar and the Indy 500 and all that. I bet you that's going to happen at some point. The way things have been going, it would not surprise me if that happened. Oh, man. Hasn't for a long time, but has before. Okay, so it has happened before. Okay. Indy's run on a Tuesday before. It's also ran in front of no fans. I'm sorry. In August. That was such a fever dream year. My God. My God. That was a fever dream and a half. Yeah. Glad we're past all that now, thankfully. So, okay, Indy's run on a Tuesday before, though. That's interesting. You'd think with this race that has gone on for over a century that stuff like that has happened. I know one of the TV stations here in Cincinnati, they actually interviewed Connor Daly, which was pretty cool. Because I know Connor always runs that race, so. Is Pontiac much stronger in SNL? Thanks to Sabco and Bubba Nissen. Outside of that, they've haven't been much, but I think it's getting better. It's kind of weird and difficult at the same time because it's also a GM brand like Chevrolet is. Because at one point, GM had Chevy, Pontiac, Oldsmobile, and Buick all racing together, and then it was just Chevy, Pontiac. Now it's just Chevy. Also, I'd like to hear what you guys think about all the silly season stuff going on, what you guys think is going to happen. It looks like Stuart Haas might be just up and on out of here, so I have a feeling that Stuart maybe he's just not into it as much anymore, running a team. I could be wrong. He seems to be really enjoying the drag racing stuff, so I could be wrong, but that's kind of what it feels like, so yeah, it looks like they're getting underway with some pre-race festivities, and this race will be starting here shortly, so I'll try and do the full race. I will warn you guys, I have to go into work super early in the morning, so I don't know how long I'll be up for, but we'll see where we're at. Because sometimes these truck races can get a little wild. So then again, in Sunday Night Lights, the truck series had a wild start. We had a tiebreaker in the first season, right, between Paige Jones and Jeff Bodine. So Jeff Bodine definitely killing it in the Truck Series currently. We'll have to see if anybody dethrones him heading into 1998, and who could be who could be amongst the next rising stars in NASCAR. Because we're entering a very interesting time, right? We're entering an interesting time going into 98 because this is when all those younger drivers are starting to come up. And now we have to figure out who are going to be the next group of drivers, the young guns, right? Who are going to be the next group of drivers that are going to lead NASCAR in the future? Who are going to, NASCAR is riding on so much momentum in Sunday Night Lights. And I think it's a lot more popular than it was in real life then. Just because of the female movement and everything else. I think NASCAR's in a fantastic spot. I know people get nostalgic for the 90s, but I think in SNL, people are going to be really nostalgic for the 90s. And, we'll see how things go. So, that's the beauty of it. That's the excitement of it. We got loads of ideas and loads of plans. And it just kind of depends on what all happens, right? Give us 10 overtimes just to piss Alex off. Yeah, that's probably what's going to happen. Just like the freaking Truck Series finale last year. Oh, God. Oh, God. I hate to say this, but Corey Haim kind of started that. Anyway, does Sterling Marlin still have his career-ending Kansas wreck? Probably not, just because things have drastically changed so much. Marlin's currently riding on good momentum going into 98. He's driving for Penske, and not only that, that wreck necessarily didn't end his career because he came back, but obviously it's one of those. I've learned over the years that in your later years of your career, you're going to have that one wreck where you're kind of not the same driver afterwards. I feel like, because what people note, that one wreck Jimmy Johnson had, I think it was at Pocono, people go back to that. Junior's concussions in 2016, he wasn't the same driver after that, stuff like that. So, I said this at the beginning of Sunday Night Lights Restart Part 1. I am not killing off any drivers. That's not happening. It's not going to happen ever. Injuries could happen, depending on the severity and, honestly, realisticness. I'd say career enders are very, very, very rare. But outside of that, I want to be able to just give all these drivers an opportunity to go succeed, to go do what they want to do. And there's so many stories left to tell, endless stories left to tell. Who knows what could happen. I'm really excited about 1998, honestly, because I think it's going to be, I think a lot of great things are going to happen. Okay, I'll give you guys one more hint about 1998. I'm going to keep this very brief, very generic, but the Busch Series is going to be pretty stacked. I think the Busch Series is going to be very competitive. I'll leave it as that. But I think the Busch Series is going to be very, very, very competitive. With all that success Stewart-Haas Racing had in the 2010s, it's hard to believe that. Yeah, you go back to 2018, they were on top of the world, and after that, really, Kevin Harvick was the guy winning all the races for the most part, and I think they have some good drivers. I think Chase Briscoe's a good driver. He was showing that in 2022, so it's very weird to see him struggle the way he has. Noah Gragson. Gregson's been very impressive this year. So it's just intriguing to see where all these drivers are going to end up. It's hard to say. I wouldn't be surprised if RFK gets a charter. And I think that'll be for Justin Haley. I think that's what's going to happen. Because I think that's why he went to Rick Ware. It's all part of the deal to work with RFK and everything else. So I'm waiting for Danica Patrick and SNL. Hey, remember, in real life, she tested for PPC Racing in 2002, so she may just do NASCAR in this timeline from the get-go, right? It's possible. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, obviously, but the possibility is there. You know what? I want to do this. I may do this as a fun community post thing, but kind of like do a poll. But who do you guys think in Sunday Night Lights of the female drivers? Who's going to win a cup championship first? Who's going to be the first female cup champion? Is it going to be Patty Moyes, Shauna Robinson, Kelly Earnhardt, Tammy Jo Kirk, or somebody else? I like to hear what you guys have to say. I want to try stuff like that just to get more interactive and all that, because I think that could be a fun idea. And what tracks too? Like, what tracks have been intriguing you guys? Like Texas World still being around, or Riverside, or whatnot. So, yeah. Again, this is all so much fun, just being able to create this whole alternate timeline. Kelly Earnhardt is on top of the world so far, so probably her. And she is younger, so she's got plenty of racing years left in her. I'd say long term she's most likely. But again, you never know. Yeah, Justin Haley, he's been doing a really good job with Rick Ware Racing. That team's been getting places, and I think it's because of having guys like Justin Haley involved in the program. And even Kaz Grella has occasionally put some solid performances together. I know some people say what they want about the next-gen car, but NASCAR's been more competitive than ever before, and it's been fun to watch, We're seeing teams like Front Row getting up there and getting good runs. We've seen Todd Gillen and McDowell up there, and Lantern Zone believes Patty Moyes is his pick for the 1998 Cup Championship. That would be really cool, And Shauna, I think Shauna could, because Sapco Racing, they've become a powerhouse. And even Kyle Petty, right? Kyle Petty's been much better in this timeline. He's been winning races. He has a championship, so Rusty needs to be stopped. Yeah, I'd say Rusty Wallace is like the final boss right now. Kind of like sorry to bring up wrestling, but that's what The Rock's recent thing was with Cody Rhodes, was him being the final boss. So I think right now Rusty's like that big final boss, and now everyone's got to figure out, how can we stop that number 2 Miller Ford, man? They're fast. Because I remember I kept doing 97. I'm called, what did Daryl Cartridge say in the first Cars movie? Put out the fire, call in the dogs, we're going to crown ourselves a champion. That's pretty much what it was. I'm like, it's over. Rusty's got... That's why I had to make the joke in the 1997 video. I said, we had a great battle for the championship. For second. Because that's literally what it was. Second to 7th was just swapping places back and forth. I'm like, if it weren't for Rusty destroying the field, this championship battle would be phenomenal. So, my guesses are either Jeff Gordon or... I think Gordon's close. I think he and Bill Davis Racing are really firing off on all cylinders. And when you think about it, this was a heck of a risk for a talented but very young driver to go up with this new team, and things have really worked out for them. So they broke out in 97. I think they'll continue to do so in 98. Rob Moroso, if his pit crew can stop screwing him over, I think he's got an opportunity. Kaz Gralla is one of the most criminally underrated talents. One of his first truck starts. Yeah, and then first top 10. Yeah, I remember that. He subbed in for Austin Dillon at the Daytona Road Course. Remember when NASCAR ran on that? Oh, wait, they do that in Sunday Night Lights. All right, we're getting the command to start the engines. I'm so glad Mark Martin won it. Yeah, Mark Martin, Ricky Rudd, some guys that never won a championship that did in this timeline. It's really cool. A couple guys that are Hall of Famers in real life, but now they got a little bit more to add to their resume. Now that, Mark's a champion and Ricky Rudd's a champion. Rick Hendricks got a couple championships to his name. Let's see, the real life 2017 season with the old chase is basically SNL 97. To be fair, no matter what format you had for 2017, Martin Truex Jr. was just great from start to finish. I mean, I remember being at Kentucky. He had a 16-second lead at one point. I'm like, that was the case of him at every mile and a half that year. That it was just wild, absolutely wild. The boss is Rusty Wallace's SNL nickname. Oh man, I'm glad I came up with the final boss. Oh man. Going through the starting lineup here. Mason Maggio's in this race. Stephen Parsons. Connor Jones. Timmy Hill. Brett Holmes. Memphis. I didn't catch that last name. Mason Massey. Spencer Boyd. Oh yeah, Jeffrey Earnhardt's in the race. Driving for the 67. I believe that's for MBM. Christian Eckes, Daniel Dye back there. So they're definitely going to have to work their way towards the front, so that'll make things interesting. So let's see. Is Michael Waltrip a bust? Well, it's a shame he hasn't panned out. There's always still that chance, right? So there's always a chance at redemption and stuff like that. So, we got some plans for him for 1998, and obviously you will find out when that all happens. There's Tanner Gray rolling off. Obviously, he just won the ARCA race at the beginning of this stream. So, cool to see him get his first win. There's Ben Rhodes. Yeah, I mean, in real life, it was 462 starts until Waltrip got his first win. There were moments where I thought he was going to get his first win, and just didn't happen yet. So, we'll have to see. What all goes down. Oh, man. It's Memorial Day weekend. A lot of stuff coming up this weekend, huh? There's Dean Thompson. Give me a second here. Yeah, I'd say Corey Haim's always a favorite because he's just been so dominant this season. I see Roger Carruth up there, though, so I'm sure he can make some noise. Does Dave Blaney go to a top-tier team in SNL? We're working on plans for him. Obviously, it just depends on what he does, right? We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, feel free to ask about what could happen. Obviously, I'll answer them the best way I can without spoiling anything, and a lot of it's also because I don't know what's going to happen, right? So I got to do the races to see what happens, and that's what's fun of it. It's just seeing how things progress as the season goes on. Mark Martin also got the key to his hometown instead of a certain Olympic snowboarder. Are any Cup guys running the truck race tonight? I don't think so, because I think the Truck Series are doing what's called the Trip. Kind of like how the Xfinity Series has the Dash for Cash. And I know that's this race, Gateway, and Nashville. To collect some bonus incentives, of course. Who do you think will win the 2024 championship in SNL? Oh man, that's just a long way away, right? Me. I'm just kidding. I can only dream, right? Got any plans for Jimmy Johnson? Jimmy! Stay tuned. Stay tuned. All I could say is you will be seeing him very soon. See, I said, Rose Jam said the same thing I said. I'm going to win the 2024 championship. Yes. It's going to be Tim Richmond's son. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm being goofy here. I don't know. It would be fun to think about what this timeline's going to look like in 2024, but it's so far off. It's way too hard to predict. I can tell you NASCAR's going to look way much different in 2024 in SNL than it does right now. So, like I said, it's a grind, but I want to keep going. This is a fun story. I want this to be a fun, continuous story that, I keep doing because, again, we got a lot of fun ideas. We got a lot of cool plans. So, obviously, stick around. I really appreciate your all support. Sean Richmond confirmed. What have I done? I've opened up a rabbit hole. No, Matt Martin. Just trying to think of some obscure names, right? Oh man. I'm trying to think who else. I need to stand up for a second. Tim Richmond's fictional son. Bubba Pollard. That 50 Snyder's cars already has me excited. Considering I live like 7 miles away from one of their plants. Oh, that's neat. That's pretty cool. Yep, you will see what that's all about in the meantime. So, Anthony Wallace. Chad Chaffin. Currently in the Super Sportsman Series as of 1997. Maybe Reed Sorensen. We can just keep going on and on. Excuse me. But, yeah. Or maybe you guys could do something like predict like the next 5 Cup championships in SNL. So that would be 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2002, I think. Race 100, Evergreen Speedway, Ron Hornaday. Race 200, Memphis, Ted Musgrave. Race 300, Dover 2007, Hornaday won that race. Race 400, Clint Boyer, 2011, Kansas. Race 500, New Hampshire Motor Speedway, Austin Dillon, 2015. Race 600 was 2020 at Vegas with Kyle Busch. Oh, and this is race number 700 in the Truck Series. Wow. That's nuts, man. This is the 700th race in Truck Series history. I wonder where Kurt Busch and Chad Little go in SNL. Well, currently, Chad Little is in the Cup Series. He is with, I will note, he is still with Mark Rypian, not with Jack Roush. So, and that is because in 96, he had an incredible year in the Busch Series where he won 9 races, swept every road course race, and won the championship. So, that's where he stands now. We'll have to see if they can improve going into 1998. Rusty. I wouldn't be surprised if Rusty Wallace is actually the guy to get to 7 titles. Because I'm curious to see if there's going to be anybody to, hit 7 championships. I don't know if anybody will, but we'll see. I will say if you do your research, you will be able to figure out one thing about that Snyder's car. All right, Jets leaving a hint for you. And green flag, we're racing at Charlotte. All right, the Truck Series race is underway. Tanner Gray hopping out in front to the lead. And the 77 truck went below the apron for a second. He's going to go way up the track. Able to be careful, though. Sure, the start's going to be a little wild here. I believe that is Chase Purdy in the 77 and Connor Mozak in the 7. So, Patty 98, Rusty 99, Rusty 2000. So, Rusty currently has 4. 1998, not 1998, 1988. Who am I kidding? I probably just jinxed it and predict he's going to win his 5th title now. 88, and then 94, 95, and 97. The first title was with Raymond Beadle, Blue Max Racing. And the other 3 were with Roger Penske, which is fascinating because Roger Penske didn't get a NASCAR championship until Brad Keselowski did it in 2012. So that's an interesting perspective there. Penske's already a tougher team than in real life. Oh, that's what happened. The 77 got into Lane Riggs there. Nearly wrecked there, but he saved it. Will Kenny Wallace carry on the legacy of Rusty and become a champion? Well, we'll see. He's currently driving for Morgan McClure. Got a couple wins under his belt, notably the 1995 Brickyard 400. And here comes Corey Heim to the lead. Anyone surprised? Like I said Corey Heim, it was a safe bet. Now he's probably going to pull away. Oh boy. Ty Majeski's 3rd, Roger Caruth 4th, Lane Riggs in 5th. I will say I do have a personal sheet on Google Drive where I do have like all the winners and stuff listed. Actually, wouldn't mind. I even have a page where I list all the champions and stuff. Let's see. Oh, you talking about Bob Keselowski? So he was in the Truck Series this past season in Sunday Night Lights. So he's one of the few Dodge trucks out there. So I'd say he's a guy to keep an eye out for because he did pretty well this past season. I need to check where he exactly finished, but he did pretty well. Excuse me. Daniel Dye's been on the move. But here are all the Winston Cup champions for Sunday Night Lights. So 81 was Bobby Allison, 82 was Darrell Waltrip, 83 was Bobby Allison, that's his 2nd title. 84 is Terry Labonte, 85 is Bill Elliott, 86 is Dale Earnhardt, 87 was Terry Labonte for his 2nd title. 88 was Rusty Wallace when he was with Blue Max. 89 was Dale Earnhardt. That's his 3rd. 90 was Mark Martin. 91 Davey Allison driving for his dad. 92 Kyle Petty. 93 Ricky Rudd. 94 Rusty Wallace, 95 Rusty Wallace, 96 Bubba Nissen, 97 Rusty Wallace. I do hope Jeff gets a title though in this timeline, just because of all the hype he had with the 2 Busch championships. I think he can, but obviously let's wait and see what all happens, right? So. Yeah, I got listed here all the Busch champs, IROC champs, all the 600 winners, Daytona 500 winners, All-Star winners, Brickyard 400 winners. Like I said, anything's possible in this timeline, And I think that's just the beauty of it all, just seeing what happens. Excuse me. Excuse me. Good Lord. Now, if you want to see the Daytona 500 winners again, here we go. 1981. This is the Daytona 500 winners in Sunday Night Lights. 1981, Tommy Gale. 1982, James Hilton. 1983, Cale Yarborough. 84, Dale Earnhardt. 85, Darrell Waltrip. 86, Jeff Bodine. 87, Bill Elliott. Dale Earnhardt for the second time in 88. Dick Trickle, 89. 1990, Morgan Shepherd. 1991, Eddie Bierschwell. 1992, Bubba Nissen. Excuse me. 93, Joe Nemechek. 94, Shauna Robinson. 95, Dale Earnhardt for the third time. 96, Ricky Rudd. 97, Kelly Earnhardt. You know what? I'll tell you all the Coca-Cola 600 winners too for fun, since that's this weekend. Let's see. So these are all the Coca-Cola 600 winners in Sunday Night Lights so far. So 81 was Terry Labonte. 82 was Ricky Rudd. 83 was Richard Petty. Harry Gant in 84. Darrell Waltrip in 85. Ricky Rudd again in 86. Dale Earnhardt in 87. Rusty Wallace in 88. Alan Kowicki in 89. Mark Martin in 90. Dale Earnhardt 91. Kyle Petty in 92. 93, Neil Bonnet. 94, Patty Moyes. 95, Terry Schoonover. 96, Rob Moroso. 97, Rusty Wallace. Actually, quite a few guys went on to win the championship the same year they won the 600, didn't they? 88 with Wallace, 90 with Mark Martin, 92 with Kyle Petty, and 97 with Rusty. Interesting. Let's see. Who will win the 2030? The 2030 Stock GT Championship? I'll go with Max Gordon. Sure, why not? That's Robbie's kid, right? Yeah. 2030, bruh. Oh, man. Dale deserves 3 Daytona 500s more than anyone for all the heartbreak he's suffered. And that's fair. And even though Dale Earnhardt's a 3-time champion, I still think he's one of the big influential superstars of the sport just because of how he was and his presence. And the 3 Daytona 500s kind of make up for the fact that, whoa, my God, okay, Jack Wood almost got put into the wall there. Good Lord. So as I was saying, yeah, I think that kind of makes up for it. What has happened with Elton Sawyer? He's been running in the Busch Series. What was it? Let me look at his most recent win. What was his most recent win? I know he has a few wins in this timeline. May have to go back quite a ways. He won at Michigan in 95. That might be his most recent win. But yeah, he's been running in the Busch Series. Yeah, Caden Honeycutt's been coming into his own lately. Ran well last time. He's running well here so far, running in 5th. So, we'll have to see what he keeps doing here. Because, if he can keep it impressing, see if maybe he can get even a bigger ride in the future, right? Here's the 19 of Christian Eckes, up to 19th position. I know he had to start in the back. Corey Heim has checked out from the field because that's been kind of his theme this year. I have a feeling he's going to win like 10 races this year the way he's been driving. Man. The same Elton Sawyer who is NASCAR's director of competition. Yes, that's the same guy. Yep. Davey Allison stages a major comeback in 1998. We'll see. We'll see, right? We'll have to wait and see what happens and what he does. That was it. Anyway, Ward Burn wins the championship. Can you imagine if that actually happens? That would be something. Oh, that's right. The Dodgers are in town this weekend in Cincinnati. I'm pretty sure all those games will be sold out. because Otani and the Dodgers are probably winning the World Series. But anyway, now that I've opened Pandora's box, who will win all the 2030 championships? All right, smart guy, let's figure this out together. When do you expect SNL 98 to come out? Later this summer. That's the goal. I think I have an idea of when, but obviously I will give you guys a better idea when I get closer to things. But later this summer, for sure. It'll be this summer, for sure. All right. Who will win all the 2030 championships? God. Well, we got Max Gordon for IMSA Stock GT. Super Sportsman. Man, this is tough because we're not even at 2030 yet. Oh, jeez. I'm trying to think, like, what makes the most sense here. Maybe Adam Petty has a kid and he's racing at that point. I don't know. There we go. Adam Petty Jr. or something like that. He can win the Super Sportsman title. Here's another fun idea. Maybe Sebastian Weldon wins the championship, right? 2030. My God. 7 laps to go in stage 1. Corey Heim is lapping people. Tanner Gray's second. Yo, Caden Honeycutt up to third, and he's looking for second now. How about Caden Honeycutt? This is cool to see. Wilson Petty. There you go. Oh, how could I forget about Thad Moffitt? He's technically part of the Petty family. I didn't think about that. Thad Moffitt could be. You never know. And then NASCAR will announce the next International All-Star for Brisbane 2032, which they will make a return to Calder Park after a successful run at LA 28. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Look at this. We're building future lore for Sunday Night Lights. Isn't this great? This is fun. This is fun. We're having fun. Alright, 4 laps to go. Caden Honeycutt is second. How about this? Dale Jr. doesn't betray his father and skips. I think he stays with the family business most likely. Just kind of depends what happens, how DEI's doing, how Junior's doing, and stuff like that. So, just a lot of stuff has to happen and all that. So, but obviously, time will tell. Junior's been becoming a pretty good prospect. He looked good in the Busch Series this past season. Obviously won the 96 Super Sportsman Championship. So, alright, coming to 2 to go at stage 1. These laps are flying by pretty quick, aren't they? And final lap of stage 1. I'd say the biggest talking point's got to be Caden Honey. Maybe, maybe in SNL, Caden Honeycutt will be the 2030 Cup champion, right? You never know. When did you start watching NASCAR, and what was your first race? So, summer of '04, I went to this place called Blockbuster. Um, I'm kidding. You all probably know what it is. It's, back then, you actually, like, went to places and rented movies and games for a week. But, I was getting into racing games. So, I was playing a lot of Gran Turismo 3. So I was getting into racing games, and I rented NASCAR Thunder 2003. And I started to really enjoy it. And then, not too long after, I began watching. And that was, it had to have been July of 2004. The first full race I watched on TV was the 2004 Tropicana 400 from Chicagoland. That was the first race I watched on TV. And then I got hooked. I got hooked after that. The first race I went to was the 2005 Meyer 300 at Kentucky Speedway. That was the first race I ever went to. Keelan Harvick was born in 2012. He could barely win the 2030 Super Sportsman Championship. All right, so we got Max Gordon for IMSA Stock GT. Keelan Harvick for the 2030 Super Sportsman Championship. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck. The floating Tropicana. Yeah, the big orange that fell on the track. Yeah. That's and I remember because Tony Stewart and Casey King got into a wreck, and their crews broke out into a fight, and I was like, whoa. This is crazy. Yep, that was the same race where the big Tropicana orange, the inflatable orange, I guess there were some high winds and it got knocked over and it fell onto the track. Something you don't see every day, but, sometimes that happens. Tony won that race. Yeah, Tony did win that race. That's right. Cruise fighting? Good thing that'll never happen again. Yeah, that'll never happen again, right? Right? Right, guys? That's not going to happen again, and a driver gets a $75,000 fine or anything, right? Nah. Like that's ever going to happen, as Shrek once said. You know they're going to use that for promotion material. You know they're going to use that for promotion material. Excuse me. I thought 2004 was a fun year. I thought Junior had a shot at the title. Just, won Talladega, and then he got docked points for swearing on national television, and then he had that Atlanta wreck. So that was all. That sucked. I remember, at the time I lived in Louisville, Kentucky. So that's like an hour and 15 away from Cincinnati, but if I ever went up to Cincinnati for something and all that, we'd always stop by Kentucky Speedway and just check out the track. I know a couple of occasions we saw testing there from afar. I know we did. So that was pretty cool to see, and I was just blown away by it all. And then, of course, I went to my first race there. And then my first Cup race was later in 2005. It was the Brickyard 400. That was back when, 200,000 people were showing up for that race. And then Bristol later, not too long after. I went to the Bristol night race that year. And that was a fun weekend, too. Because I remember they were paying tribute to Rusty Wallace, who was, of course, entering his final season in the Cup Series at the time, which, the way he's driving, he may race past 05 in SNL. So, ooh, man, look at this on pit road. Rasha Caruth got forced onto the turf, because I know that's turf now, not grass. Pit road, always an experience, right? So, yeah, 38 pulls out, 98 shoves the 71 into the turf. I'm sure Raja's not going to like that. I miss seeing the testing at Kentucky. We went a couple times for that. Yeah, for sure. I remember I went to the 06 truck race there. I remember because that's when I started to hear about Marcos Ambrose. He was on the pole that night, and me and my dad were like, "Oh, how cool is that? This Australian driver's over here trying to make it in NASCAR." So, I'd say he turned out pretty well. I have a Ford poster hung up on my wall. One side of it is the 06 Cup Series. The other side of it has the Busch and Truck Series, and on the bottom part shows the Busch, the Truck Series, and the top part shows the Busch Series when they had the Ford Fusion debut that year. So I know Marcos Ambrose is on there. I think Bobby East is on there. God rest his soul. Yeah, Mark Martin, David Reagan when they were in the 6. Terry Cook. Rick Redacted Crawford. Yikes. Who else is on there? Okay, yeah. Marcos Ambrose, Bobby East, and Eric Darnell. That's right, Eric Darnell. Remember when he randomly returned a few years ago and ran a random truck race? I've seen that. It's sick. Yeah, I love that poster. I need to flip it around one of these days because the Cup Series is on the other side. I know that, but and I have another poster that says Class of 2006. It's a Goodyear poster, but it has all the Cup Series drivers on it. I love looking at it now because I like to count how many of them are still racing. So, yeah, I'm gonna go over here and take a look. Okay, let's see. Carl Edwards, retired. Jimmy, part-time racing. Mayfield. Newman. He ran races last year. Mark Martin, retired. Tony Stewart, he's drag racing. Biffle, he's been racing a little bit still. Kenseth, retired. Kurt Busch, retired. Dave Blaney, retired. Brent Sherman, didn't he run the Xfinity race in Chicago last year? I think he did. Kenny Wallace, retired. Casey Mears, retired. Kevin LePage, retired. Jeff Gordon, retired. Jeff Green, retired. Truex, still racing full-time. Brian Vickers, retired. Dale Jr., still occasionally races. Sterling Marlin, retired. Kyle Busch. Man, look how young Kyle Busch looks in that picture. I wish I could show y'all. He still looks like a high school teen still. Excuse me. Yeah, Kyle Busch still racing full-time. Harvick, he just retired. Well, he was technically in a Cup car last week. Jeff Burton's retired. Bobby Labonte, he still does some racing. Pretty sure, is that PJ Jones or is that Hermie Sattler? I think that might be Hermie Sattler. I don't remember. David Strimmy, retired. Terry Labonte, retired. Jamie Mack, he's on Fox now. Schrader. Ken Schrader still does a bit of racing. I think Jody Machek races a bit still. Sorensen, he's done. Casey Kane, I think he's retired now. Oh, Kirk Shelmerdine's in this picture. I totally forgot about that. Wow. Kirk Shelmerdine, yeah, he's retired. Mike Wallace, retired. Clint Boyer, he's in the booth. Elliott Sattler's retired. Bill Elliott's retired. Dale Jarrett's retired. Mikey's in with Fox. Kyle Petty's retired. Travis Quaffle, his son's racing. Scott Wimmer. Dennis James, Alan Hamlin, still racing. Robbie Gordon, Scott Riggs, J.J. Elliott. I'm proud of that. I might take a picture and send it to you guys. FS1 mentioned that Kyle Busch made his Busch Series debut 21 years ago today. Oh my God. It's hard to believe he's been racing that long, but come to think of it, He was driving the truck series in like 2001 when he was 16 years old. That is just nuts. Let's see. Marcus Ambrose is someone that might be interesting to see in SNL, considering Jeff Brabham won the. Oh yeah, that is interesting. That's certainly something to think about down the road. Yeah. Kenny mostly races at dirt tracks now. Okay, yeah, you're right. That makes sense. Let's see. Yeah, the 2006 Pepsi 400 was the one where Tony Stewart said, "They call this race the Pepsi 400, but Coke still tastes a hell of a lot better." That reminds me, I think it was in 2004. They had like the Powerade Victory Lane or whatever, or Powerade had a sponsorship. They would put, like, Jimmy Johnson won a race. They put this standout of the Powerade logo on it, and as Johnson got out of his car, he actually, like, swiped it off the top of his car because Pepsi, Gatorade, right? Gatorade is a Pepsi sponsored, is part of Pepsi. So, that's why Jimmy did all that. And I think, I'm trying to remember if he got fined or something like that. I feel old now. You and me both, Michael. Dear God. Oh, man. I knew I was feeling old when I heard that Kevin Harvick was retiring, and I was like, good Lord, these are all the guys I grew up watching, and they hated Tony because he told them the truth. Pepsi is mid. Oh, we about to have soda wars in SNL, baby. We about to have some soda wars. Bottlegate. Oh, yeah, wasn't it that Cleveland Browns game in, like, 2001 that had the Bottlegate? Like, the referees wanted to review a play from 2 plays ago or something like that, and, the Browns were trying to make the playoffs, and it was just a disaster. Lol, NFL. What team would you drive for in the SNL timeline? Oh, man. Probably either AK Racing, or Sapco, or probably DEI. One of those 3. Coke is better than Pepsi. End of discussion. Water. Attaboy, Ferris. Water tops them all. Stay hydrated. As I'm drinking my Baja Blast. I guess those are being sold in stores permanently now. Baja Blasters. Alright, we're 12 laps into stage 2. Corey Heim and Tanner Gray battling for the lead. See if Tanner can go 2 for 2 today, huh? Pepsi's just too sweet for me. I prefer the crisp taste of Coke. That's fair. I'm weird. Sometimes I don't pick sides, and I'm just like, I just prefer this on one day, or I prefer this on another. Shame on me, I know. How dare me. So, obviously, I'll lean towards Coke just because, they're a NASCAR brand, and I think Daniel Dye nearly lost it there, but Jack Wood got by him. Oh, Chase Purdy's third. How about that? That's pretty good. Nope, no pun intended. Should I? Who should drive the 8 Coke C2 cars in SNL? Yes. Who? Yeah, the Coke C2 cars that invaded the Pepsi 400. The Coca-Cola invasion of 2004. Caden Honeycutt just got past Connor Mozak there for 7th place. Yeah, Corey has been on fire. Honestly, I do have a prediction. I think he's going to be in Cup next year. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a third 2311 car, but we'll see. Oh, Ty Dillon. Where's he at? Oh, he's in 10th. That's pretty good. Well, Jack Wood just went by him, and now Nick Sanchez is getting around him, the Daytona winner. I mentioned Daytona. Hey, they're doing Crank It Up. I would turn up the volume, but I don't want to get copyright, so I do love me some good Crank It Up. I know people have been critical about the Fox broadcast, but you know what? I always enjoy a good Crank It Up. Always do. If Kyle Larson or some other driver doing the double in SNL wins the Indy 500 and Sunday Night Lights, what do you think it would happen in the world of NASCAR? I think there would be a lot of buzz, I think a lot of people would be like, we got to follow this driver. This driver can win in anything, kind of. I think it'd be a big deal. I mean, 96, you had Shauna Robinson win the Brickyard 400. So, first woman to win at Indy. That's a huge deal. So, I remember I was walking in the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum. And I thought to myself, I can imagine in the SNL timeline, Shauna Robinson's car would be in here, the one she won it with. I can imagine that, Will we get the Candy Wars or the Burger Wars? Who knows? I mean, we're going into 98. You got to think the dot-com bubble is almost here. The age of the internet is almost here. So, that's something to think about, Speaking of broadcasts and all that, I'm really intrigued to see what things will look like with the CW when they start doing the Xfinity races. Especially now they're doing the last bunch of pretty much the entire playoffs. I'm really looking forward to that, seeing what they do, because I've been really intrigued with what the CW's been doing lately, and obviously the addition of sports that they've had with Live Golf, with the ACC, and now they're adding the Pac-2. Well, Pac-12, but it's the Pac-2. Speaking of which, I'm really excited about the new college football video game. I am hyped for that. The interwebs. Yeah, so, pretty soon we'll get AOL and Microsoft and Google. Who knows, right? Who knows? I really wish they would move the summer Daytona race back to July 4th weekend and put the Chicago week. I think really with the playoff format we have, I totally understand why they moved the summer Daytona race to usually be the regular season finale. It's not this year just because the Olympics and all that. So it is nice actually. They're getting 2 weeks off for that too. So that's actually pretty neat. So gives everybody a bit of a break. Let's see. Somebody mentioned the entire entry list for the 94 Brickyard 400. Oof. I don't know if I have that list anywhere. That's something I might have to go back and take a look at or something like that. So then again, yeah, I think there would be a crap load of entries. I love the old internet so much. I will say, and I admit I'm a sucker for it. Nostalgia is one hell of a drug. It's funny because I didn't see the full clip, but I heard that in the sequel to Inside Out, they're adding the nostalgia emotion. I went, oh god, this will be good. This will be great. Whew, man. Let's see here. I went to the IMS Museum for Thanksgiving break in 06. I stole Tony Stewart's. Oh, that's cool. I saw that car win in person, so I've been there a few times. The first time I went there was June of 05, I think. So that was right after, I think Buddy Rice won the Indy 500 that year. But, yeah. I believe it's going through a bunch of renovations right now, and it's closed, but I'm looking forward to seeing what it looks like when it's all done. 7 laps to go here in Stage 2. It's like Dean Thompson. How about Dean Thompson putting a good run in 5th, just past Ty Majeski for that position? You have to go back and look. I know some big names did D&Q for the 94 Brickyard 400. I would pick SNL's Hendrick mainly because of Chevy and because Labonte and Red became champions there. Yeah. Tim Richmond's had a great career. He just hasn't won a championship, but he still had a great career. The one where Tony Stewart said, "I'm too damn fat to be climbing fences." I remember that. If I could drive for an SNL team, you would be Penske. Not so I can win, but so I can force Rusty out. That is a fun question, though, to see like what team would you want to drive for in Sunday Night Lights. Richard Petty, D&Q. Yep. Yes, he did. In Sunday Night Lights, he did D&Q the inaugural Brickyard 400. Also, I don't think Bubba Nissen would let me drive his car. I guess you never know, right? You never know. So let's see. Top 10 currently is Heim, Tanner Gray, Chase Purdy, Caden Honeycutt, Thompson, Majeski, Lane Riggs, Mozak, Sanchez, Daniel Dye. That's your top 10. We have 3 laps to go left in stage 2. I want to drive the Barbie girl so I can go party. Yes, that is the best answer. And then when you win, you should blast "I'm a Barbie Girl" by Aqua. When did that song come out? It had to have been like around this time, around the 90s now, right? Barbie Girl song. Hold on. I got this. Hiya, Barbie. Hi, Ken. Actually, I probably shouldn't quote this song. Oh, okay. It's already out in SNL. It came out in 97. Uh-oh. Yeah, 1997 is when Barbie Girl came out. Instead of "Come on, Barbie, let's go, Barbie," it's "Come on, Patty, let's go, Patty." Yeah, by the Danish-Norwegian dance pop group called Aqua. I know they were popular for quite a few songs. Aqua collaborated with Nicki Minaj and Ice Spice for the soundtrack of the film Barbie. Okay. What other songs did they do? Oh yeah, Candyman, I know that one. Anyway. I just remember the ESPN jock jams from around that time, too. My history teacher played this song religiously in high school. Really? That's hilarious. That is awesome. I remember the Family Guy episode where Bill Clinton and Peter Griffin were hanging out. And they were hanging out at Chuck E. Cheese, and like their order was called for pizza. And Bill's like, tag me in. And then he starts dancing to Barbie Girl on the Dance Dance Revolution game. Come on, Barbie, let's go, Barbie. Oh, man. How many Cup drivers are in Sunday Night Lights currently? Right now, 4. So Patty Moyes, Shauna Robinson, Tammy Jo Kirk, and Kelly Earnhardt. So Patty, Shauna, Tammy, and Kelly. Yeah. Let's see. Scandinavian EDM in the 90s was something. It really was. Got Dr. Bombay and the song Cotton Eye Joe. Oh, yeah. Cotton Eye Joe. Now that makes me wonder where Tony Stewart will go in SNL in the Cup Series. It'll be interesting. Yeah, it'll definitely be interesting. I think he's a driver to certainly watch for sure. Did Mike Chase make it? He did not. I don't think he did. I just got voted out first in an online Survivor competition. Man, shoot. I'm sorry to hear that, man. How about the Macarena? Ah, yes, the good old Macarena. Macarena. But yeah, in the mid to late 90s, there was these collection of albums called ESPN Jock Jams that had a bunch of those popular 90s songs on there, like the Macarena and all the, and you know, I think YMCA might have been on there at one point. St. Louis, can't wait. Yep, I'll be going to Gateway next weekend. I'm going to St. Louis on Tuesday. I'm driving there and then spending the week there. So, really looking forward to that. Trying to think of other songs around that time. I will confess something. So, after 97 it came out, and while I was down in Daytona, for funsies, I made a 97 SNL music video using Everlong by the Foo Fighters, because I really love that song, and it came out in 97. I don't know if I'm ever going to release it just because of the copyright music, but I was like, I want to play around with this, and do some fun with it. So that's what I did. So, yeah, I still have the video on me, but I did do that at one point. Patty Moyes would probably be in the Barbie Girl music video. I can imagine at one point like her race cars in it or something, because that would be really neat. She'd probably do something fun like that. He is. Who's this? Elgin Baylor Lumpkin. Nice. Did you hear? Oh, somebody lost a gas can. Somebody lost a Sunoco gas can. Somebody's getting penalized. Oh, don't tell me it was Honeycutt. Don't tell me. Oh, my God. No. Dang it. Caden was running so good. Pain. I'm in Spain without the S. I'm drinking champagne without the sham. Don't demonetize me. I'm just joking. Did you hear Dale Earnhardt Jr. might get the trademark rights? I saw something about that. That's really fascinating. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens there. Tony Stewart has the best sound bites in NASCAR. Oh yeah, he's. I agree. He's had some interesting sound bites. And it's interesting with Tony Stewart, too, because he already has a couple of Busch wins. So, I'd say it's a bigger deal than in real life, and now it's going to be interesting to see how he can continue that momentum when he could get to the Cup Series, and how he'll do when he gets there, right? So, gosh, so like I said, I'll give you one hint. The Busch Series will be stacked. It's going to be stacked. There's a lot of good names, and I think that's going to be a fun talking point. That's all I'm going to say, but yeah, I think it'll, yeah. Oh, Jet, you found it? Okay. I wish you could post pictures. I wish you could post pictures in the chat. Ferris did find a picture of Bubba Nissen. It was from a broadcast of his 1983 Rockingham crash. There is a picture of Bubba Nissen. I repeat, there is a picture of Bubba Nissen. I'm kind of curious. Should I do like a community post? Hold on here. Just to show you guys. Yeah, there's a picture of what he looks like. It's from '83, but put it on the screen if you can. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to see what I can cook up here. Okay. Yeah, give me one. Leap day of 2020 is when he saw this. Oh my god. Wow. Yeah, we found this 4 years ago. I knew we had a picture somewhere. Let's see. I wonder if we can reach out to IRL Bubba Nissen. That would be cool. Just to like meet him one day and just, you know, see what he's up to and stuff, and just say like, hey, you know, I'm doing this thing and you're like a big deal in it. Which I think is cool because, you know, we get to celebrate drivers in real life who, you know, didn't have as big a careers as other people did. So yeah, give me 1 second here, guys. I'm going to try and get you this Bubba Nissen picture. I hope I don't screw this up. Is this the right one? Let me see. Let's see. Give me 1 second here, guys. I hope you guys could see it. I don't know what it looks like in the stream here, but yeah, there it is. There's the man, the myth, the legend, Bubba Nissen. This was taken from his 1983 Rockingham crash, but this is it. That is the only known picture we have of Mr. Bubba Nissen. Oh, geez, I could do a better job than that. Let me see if I can fix this. Gee whiz. Okay, well, I can do a better job than that. I want to focus in on the photo itself. Oh well. Yeah, that's the best photo I can. Yeah, that's what he looks like. Sorry, it's positioned weirdly, but yep, that's the man himself. So yeah, I'll probably make a post about this just to show you guys later. Sorry, it's in my browser window. I don't know why it's doing that. Let's do this. There, maybe that'll work. Yeah, I'll show that on the screen for a little bit longer, but yep. That's him. Whoa, what happened here? Tyler Ankrum? 22 truck? Oh, goodness. Yeah, wreck on lap 69 of all laps. AM Racing when FM Racing walks in. Jeffrey Earnhardt wreck too. Man. Shoot. I got so hyped over the Bubba Nissen thing, I didn't realize the wreck had happened. I have my volume all the way down so you guys don't hear it in the background, but tough break there for Tyler Ankrum. What's the future for Bud Moore? I think they're in a lot better standing than in real life right now, for sure. Ankrum just got T-boned by Moffitt. Jeffrey Earnhardt has his window net down. He's taking his helmet off. Oh, what a shame. A lot of damaged trucks. Alright, let me see what in the world happened here. Ankrum came back up. Oh my god. Oh, right into the passenger side. Ow. That never feels good. But yeah, there you have it. Yeah, hopefully everybody's good. That's SNL's greatest hero. I love it, honestly. I'm so glad we found that picture of him. So, I'm glad I was able to show that to y'all, like, seriously. In SNL, Jeffrey Earnhardt probably wins 3 championships for DEI, late 2010s, early 2020s. We'll wait and see, right? Anything is possible. Oh, that was Keith McGee. I remember the rough going he had at Daytona when I was down there. Excuse me. Yeah, I guess somebody got into Ankrum, and obviously when you spin in a position like that, you come back up on the track. Not gonna end well. Ow. That's a big hit. Yikes. Are there any starting parks? Not necessarily, just because I don't think NR 2003 does it like that. There are the lower ended teams, of course, but yeah. Who is the biggest bust in SNL? Ugh. I mean, of the big name drivers in real life, I'd say Dale Jarrett's been the biggest letdown. But again, he had a good year in the Busch Series in '97, so there's an opportunity to turn things around for sure. Oh man, big wreck there. What a shame. What else did I miss outside of talking about the picture of Bubba Nissen? We could use AI to generate what it would look like. I know there's those like Bing image AI generator things. Obviously, AI you got to be careful with, because that stuff can be a little tricky and controversial at times and all that stuff. Do I win a championship in the SNL? Hey, like I said, anything's possible. That's why me and Rose Jam jokingly said earlier, who wins the 2024 Cup Championship in SNL? I went, me. So, who do you guys have winning the Indy 500 on either Sunday or Monday? How about that? Both the Indy 500 and the Daytona 500 may run on Monday this year. What's found first? A high-res Bubba Nissen photo or Elliott Sadler crash footage? Oh, no. Oh, no. Bill Elliott hasn't been good in years. He has struggled in the last few years. He did pick up a win. Was it 96 or 7? I think it was it was the Fall Bristol race of 96. That was his first win in quite a bit. He won in 92, he won in 93, and then 94 and 95 he went winless. It's better than that 7-year stretch he had where he didn't win a race at all. So, is the Winston Million still a thing? I mean, probably it's just something I haven't touched up on. Feeling like a Penske winner. Rossi wins the 500. Reddick wins the 600. I kind of want Kyle Larson to win the Indy 500. I'm not gonna lie. I do feel like it could be a Penske guy winning it, though. I think a Penske guy wins it. As for the 600, I think Chris Buescher wins the 600. Because, man, he's got a big win coming. After what's been happening lately, he's got a big win coming. I really do feel that way. Bill Elliott has my favorite SNL scheme I've ever made, so naturally he's not allowed to win in it. It is a beautiful paint scheme, though. I do love that Coors Light car. Yeah, St. Louis next Saturday. Let's go. I want Kyle Larson to complete 1,100 miles on Sunday. I do too. Yeah, absolutely. I hope he gets it done. Again, I'd love to see him win the Indy 500. I think that would be awesome. I don't know how IndyCar fans are going to feel about it, but I think it would be awesome. So, do they switch to the Noble 5? I would say probably, just because I haven't really touched up on that. I can draw you a picture of Bubba Nissen, and I'd say go for it. Why not, right? I'd have to assume Elliott's crash because they have way too many camera angles that could have captured it to make me believe that it doesn't exist somewhere. Larson going into the catch fence. We don't want that. We don't want that for anybody. I want everyone to have fun, you know? Larson wins the Indy 500 and then loses by 1/1000th to Chris Buescher. That only seems fitting. Oh, man. I could see it. I could really see it, though. Yeah, I'm going to go with Chris Buescher to win the 600 because I think it'd be cool for him to win that race. I was joking. I figured much. Hopefully I could at least stay on for the entirety of the truck race. It would be insane if Kyle Larson won them both, so I always wondered about that, like, because I know Fork in the Road, if you guys have seen that series, you know, they had a whole thing about Tony Stewart winning the Indy 500 and I guess missing the 600 because of it. So that's an interesting dynamic. And now, because of that domino effect, you know, they have Tony Stewart going to Ganassi for 2002. So that's pretty interesting to, you know, see what kind of domino effects happen. It's kind of like what I try to do here, right? So, yeah, if you guys haven't checked out Fork in the Road, be sure to check it out. It's really cool. So, figured I'd give those guys some love. Oh, man. So, yeah, once again, I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves and enjoying your Memorial Day weekend. When was the last time a NASCAR driver won the Indy 500? Technically, yeah, Montoya, because he previously drove in NASCAR. I was there for that one, 2015. That was the first Indy 500 I went to. That was cool, because I went to the 09 Brickyard 400, and obviously, you know, things kind of fell apart there late for him, so to see that all kind of come full circle was pretty neat. Who do you think wins the 2000 Winston Cup in Fork in the Road? I'm going going to say Jeff Gordon. I'll play a safe bet there. So yeah, I'll go with that. How many laps do we have left here? 60. Alrighty. Well, hopefully we get back to racing here shortly and talk more about the truck race that's been dominated by Mr. Corey Heim. Jet! Who wins the 2030 Cup Championship in Fork in the Road? Oh my god. Oh, goodness gracious me. The 2030. Yeah, what's with it about predicting the 2030 champion for stuff? Oh my gosh. Nick Sanchez there on pit road. Christian Eckes on pit road. And we're about to get back racing here. Everybody's all lined up. Heim, Tanner Gray, Mosak, Majeski, Taylor Gray, Chase Purdy, Lane Riggs, Ben Rhodes, Daniel Dye, and Dean Thompson are who are up in front. Would you rather 2040? Oh, come on. That's even further off. Let's see. There's still more fun after Memorial Day. 2 major endurance races. Yep. Nürburgring and Le Mans. Yeah, that's a good point. Chase Purdy wins the 2030 Fork in the Road Championship. Yes. I'm all in for it. That would be Purdy special, right? And we're back underway. Corey Heim pulling away in turns 1 and 2. Connor Mosak looking for second. Ben Rhodes trying to force his way through. Akinori Ogata, yes. What was the quote from Batista? Give me what I want! Does Scott Riggs actually win a points-paying cup race? Well, time will tell. He'll be coming into the picture before we know it, so we'll have to see what happens. One of those wait-and-see kind of things. No, Matt Crafton slapping the wall there. Here's a more legitimate fun question. What team and driver could do Garage 56 and SNL? Oh, okay, I like this one. Who could do Garage 56? I feel like Sabco, if they continue to be the powerhouse that they do, I think Sabco could do it. Hendrick's always a possibility again. Sabco doing Garage 56 would actually be pretty neat, not going to lie. Who knows? Maybe if Bill Davis, or maybe even Alan Kowicki would be interested, depending on what his team looks like. I play Auto Sim 2. Oh, Matt Crafton is in the wall. Caution is out. Oh, Matt Crafton. I play Auto Sim 2 and Akinori Ogata won a cup championship. That is beautiful. I haven't played Auto Sim in a while. It's a fun game, though. It's a fun game. A lot of damage on the right side of Crafton's number 88 truck. So that means we'll line up again for another restart. Oh yeah, the Nesquik car, yeah. That's probably one of my favorite all time paint schemes is that Nesquik car that he and Jeff Green drove. $19.95 mod for AutoSim is amazing. Oh, nice. Oh, I'm sure it's a ton of fun, yeah. And Tyler Ankrum being interviewed after taking that big hit from Thad Moffat. I'm showing a replay of the wreck again. If the Pettys and Sapco stayed connected, Adam Petty could drive for Garage 56 for them after retiring. I could see it. You know, Adam Petty was 19 in 2000. So at this point, he would be like early to mid 40s. Oh, look at Carson Hocevar in the booth. Heck yeah. I want a Linkin Park sponsored car in SNL or any other band, really. It would be cool. I don't know if I'll do it, but it would be cool if, like, the Chevy Rock and Roll 400, if I got every car sponsored by, like, an artist or a band. That would be, that would be something neat and fun to do, but, that just depends. But yeah, that 6 Nesquik car was pretty neat, wasn't it? I agree. Man, sadly, I gotta go to bed right after this stream. Oh well, with the earlier shift, that just means I get off sooner. It's never a bad thing. Oh, man. I want to collect all the Rock Band diecast. Yeah, I know, I think the band Kiss sponsored Kevin Harvick's car. I know my dad has a diecast of that car. I know he does. Any favorite SNL original paint schemes from y'all? Oh, this is a good question. This is a really good question. Yeah, list your favorite paint schemes. I'll never forget a while back that Rick Ware, one of the 54 car for Rick Ware was going to be sponsored by Slayer. And then, unfortunately, I guess NASCAR went against it because it was too demonic or something like that. So that means we're not going to be able to get a Korn sponsored car so I can make the meme, Oh my god, it's Korn! Wasn't Derek Cope sponsored by the band Poison? I don't know. I don't know. That's something I'll have to look up on. We can get a Michael Jackson sponsored car. That'd be neat. I'm sure if Tim Richmond drove that car, he would look like a smooth criminal. Literally 1984. Yes. Yes, they should have let him drive the Slayer car. Slayer, I love Bill Elliott's Coors Light car, the blue one. Yeah, the one Jet made for 96, 97. Yeah, I do like that one. He did a really good job with that one. Excuse me. Derek Cope and metal does not sound like a perfect match. I mean, then again, if we get to when we get to the 2020s, we'll have like the Billie Eilish car. We'll have the Post Malone car and the Lil Uzi Vert car or whatever. Gosh, that already sounds cursed as it is. Huh. I will say this: Lincoln Park is eligible for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame next year, so they better get voted in. They better, because they deserve it. This is my message to all metal bands. I'd love to run your logo in ARCA. Yes, yes. Support Michael and his racing efforts. I agree. Yes. Kendrick Lamar car, but the car is wrapped with a Drake diss track. Caution in turn 4, and it's the Drake and Kendrick Lamar cars. What a shocker. Yeah, when it comes to sponsoring cars, it just comes down to like who was sponsoring at the time and what makes sense, and it's just we discuss it a lot. We want to make sure that we feel like this is the right way to go when it comes to certain drivers getting sponsors and all that fun stuff. So Chase Purdy is out in front currently. I found out Rise Against will also be eligible next year. Really? Wow. That's another band that I think could be deserving of it. So, I guess time will tell. I would love to see Linkin Park get in, man, because I just, another way to just honor and celebrate Chester's legacy and that whole band's legacy, really. And just the way how influential they were with their music and everything else. I just think they are rightfully deserving of it. Tim Richmond's 51 Exxon. Yeah, certainly a classic. Of course, it ties into Days of Thunder and all that, so. Now they're interviewing Thad Moffat. Yeah, Carl Edwards getting into the Hall of Fame. That's pretty cool. I was not expecting that, so I'm definitely happy for him. He was great. Don't get me wrong, he was great. It's amazing how he did not win a championship. So has Pitbull sponsored either one of the Trackhouse cars yet? Yeah, I know he's sponsored. I know he's been on a few Trackhouse cars. Yep, he had his Trackhouse album. That's why I love Trackhouse, man. They're just doing things different, and I love how Justin Marks is doing things. Pitbull being very much involved. Because I remember, I think Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace were in that music video with Post Malone. I wonder if Pitbull just sat there and went, "Oh, that's cute. Yeah, I just made an album." And I do have it on my Spotify, and I listened to it all, and I really enjoyed it. So couldn't help but smile when he did reference Trackhouse and the team, and I think he even referenced the wall ride with Chastain at one point. So they've become my favorite team. I just love what they do, and I hope they continue to succeed and win races and all that fun stuff with Suarez and Chastain, and maybe even with SVG, and down the road even Connor Zillage. So, I love what Trackhouse has been doing. Man, you should have seen how dejected I was at the 500, man. I thought Chastain was going to get it, and he got in that wreck. I was like, no, it was so close. Oh, man. I was ready for him to smash a watermelon that day. I was ready. Maybe he'll win the 600 on Sunday, right? Or Gateway. Or it could be a Toyota. Because Toyotas have been good on those tracks lately. Ugh. Alright, so we got Chase Purdy and Mason Massey on the front row. Followed by Stephen Parsons and Stuart Friesen. This could get interesting. 47 laps to go. A lot of wiggling. Oh, dear God, I thought Friesen was going to take out the O2. Good God. They're trying to kill each other on the restart here. Ayo, come on, Ben. Oh, Christian Eck is from out of nowhere, and he takes the lead from Chase Purdy. This is an interesting restart. The 66 is up there. What if Trackhouse signed Kurt Busch instead of Ross Chastain? Yeah, that is interesting. It's obviously a shame how things played out for him. You know, him having to retire sooner than expected. And then you got to think about who takes over the one car when all that happens, right? So, that's an interesting thought, though. Definitely an interesting thought. Chase Purdy's still hanging on a second. Oh, there's Corey Heim. He's way back there. Well, I'm sure Corey Heim will fly through the field before we know it. The way he's been this year, who knows? Excuse me. Oh yeah, it's Connor Jones in the 66. That's right. Yeah, it's a shame that Carl Edwards retired the way he did, but obviously I respect his decision, and you know, he's just doing what he wants to do. So I totally get it. Ty Majeski all over to the back of Corey Heim as Eckes is trying to pull away. It's Eckes, Purdy, Parsons, Friesen, and Rhodes, your top five. Yeah, I do like the Gatorade cars that I've made for Ricky Rudd. I do like those a lot. Of course, one interesting factor is, you know, you got to think about, too, like, when companies get bought out. So, like, you know, I think by 2000, I think Gatorade gets bought by PepsiCo. So that's something to think about, too. Stefan Parsons related to Benny. Actually, Sega did sponsor a Formula One race, and there was a Sonic Trophy, yeah. I think it was like 1993. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Stefan Parsons is related to Benny and Phil. Yeah. "40 laps to go." How far do we go without another caution? Who knows? Caden Honeycutt looking to take fifth from Ben Rhodes, and he does. As we go Fox side by side. Well, you know, when it, again, I mentioned the Gatorade thing, you know, that doesn't happen until like 2000, I think, but it's just something to think about, like what they decide to go with at that point, you know, since they would be under PepsiCo or whatnot. And obviously all the silly season stuff you'll find out in due time. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for sticking around and coming in and chatting with us. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for that day too. I'm going to have a race set where the interval is going to be 0.000, and like they're going to be dead even at the line, and I'm going to sit there and go, well, this is interesting. You won't miss a thing as we keep on trucking. That's right. The Zip Pay Now, Pay Later 250. Oh, what a name for a race. The 1993 Sega European GP at Donington Park. Host of Senna's Lap of the Gods. Yeah, that's what it was, yeah. Fox Saturday Baseball. Yes, I am looking forward to my Reds getting swept by the Dodgers. That'll be so much fun. I know there is a rule if there is an actual, like, tie in a race. I know there's an actual rule. Because when I had the tiebreakers happen with the 96 Truck Series and the 97 IMSA Stock GT Series, the first thing I had to look back on was who won more races. Well, Corey Hyden's already flying through the field. He's up to 7th. There's something happened in his... Oh. Oh. Something wrong with the jack. Well. Good Lord, he is just flying past everybody. Ugh. Well, like I said, I'll try and stick around to see the end of this race, and then... I don't remember the last time it happened, but I do remember there was a time in the last decade there was a dead heat for a random position, and that rule was used. Oh, okay. You're probably right, but I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't remember it either. But you're probably right. It is interesting to think about, though. It is definitely interesting, something interesting to think about. Yeah, Kansas, yeah. I remember when that finish happened, I sat there and I thought, oh my God, did we just witness a tie? Because it was that close. And then they said it was 0.001. Yeah, 0.001. 1/1000th of a second. Absolutely insane. Oh, yeah, the 2018 Xfinity race at Daytona. God. Yeah, I remember that. So let's see. Heim is less than 4 seconds back. Well, he's got fresher tires just about than everyone ahead of him. Even still, I mean, he is... He is flying. He is flying through the field. Caden Honeycutt there in third. Strong run for him. Excuse me. Meanwhile, Chase Purdy trying to challenge Christian Eckes. He slipped up the track, though. Yeah, I know Cartoon Network sponsored Wally Dahlin back in 2000. I have that diecast, actually, a 124 scale. I believe the rule is for a tie in NASCAR is the winner is the driver that led more laps. If that's also a tie, it's the most laps in second, then third, and... Okay, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah. Never forget him losing the title of Phoenix 2 years in a row. Oh, yeah. Elliott Sadler. And Corey Heim continuing to fly through everybody. He's in fourth and... Or no, he's fifth. He's 2.64 seconds back. Eckes is trying to work around lap traffic. So is Chase Purdy. Caden Honeycutt. Oh, Honeycutt's got fresher tires. I didn't think about that. Oh my God. I'd like to see Caden Honeycutt win this. I would love it. I would love it. He's there for second. He's there. To the inside of Purdy. Yeah, his laps are 20 years fresher than Chase Purdy's. How cool would it be to see Caden Honeycutt get this win? Coco Melon car. Oh, God. That sounds cursed. Would you wear that or T-Series? I'm just kidding. And he lost the Xfinity Championship to Suarez in 2016. Oh, yeah. 20 years fresher. Wait, did I say years? I thought I said laps. I think I'm going insane. Wouldn't surprise me anymore. And Purdy's still trying to get the lead. Honeycutt's there ready to pounce. Oh, man. Seeing Purdy or Honeycutt winning would be pretty neat. Somebody's got to make a move because Corey Heim's going to chase those guys down at some point. I said years. Oh, my God. What is wrong with me? Maybe it's just because I've done this stream for almost 3 hours and I'm tired. Maybe that's what it is. All right, 20 laps. I'm going to try and hang it in there. We got almost a 3-truck battle for the lead here. Purdy went way up the track there. Purdy back to the inside of Eckes now. Oh, slid up the track. My God. Sliding everywhere. Have SpongeBob characters on their cars. There was a cup race that did that. I think it was 2015, the SpongeBob SquarePants 400 from Kansas Speedway. I know that did happen at one point. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was 2015. Yeah, I thought Purdy or Honeycutt would make a move by now, but it hasn't happened yet. Well, now if those two start battling, and Eckes could pull away. Purdy gets around that lap 41 truck. So does Honeycutt. Yep, they did paint the walls with the SpongeBob design, and yeah, the SpongeBob trophy to Jimmy Johnson. That's gonna be one of the coolest trophies to ever win, ever. And like it's so weird and random, but it was so cool at the same time. Oh, Purdy hit the wall. Purdy hit the wall. Now Honeycutt is second. We'll see what Caden Honeycutt can do now. Hopefully, Purdy doesn't have a tire going down or anything. That would really suck. That would really suck. There are 15 laps to go. Oh yeah, that's right. You did see that trophy in person. That is pretty cool. Yeah. Oh no, not a caution. Come on. Well, congrats, Corey Heim. Oh, God. Yep, I knew he was going to have a tire rub when I saw him hit the wall. I so knew it. Yeah, Purdy just went up the track, tapped the wall, rode the wall for a bit. And you know what that means. Ugh. Like I said, congrats Corey Heim, probably. I think it was debris from Purdy's truck. Which Jabroni brought out the caution. Okay, Honeycutt and Heim have the same age on tires. Curious to see who all comes down pit road. Eckes staying out, Honeycutt staying out, bunch of guys staying out. Unless pit road was still closed. Yeah, I don't think anybody's given up their position. Alright, we're probably going to get like 10 overtime restarts now, aren't we? That wouldn't surprise me too much. Hey, St. Louis! Yep, I'll be there. We will be seated. Oh, God, yeah. I remember that. Saturday, June 1st. Early afternoon truck race. So that's 12:30 Central Time. Then I'll literally have the rest of the day. Yep, I remember the Looney Tunes cars. I do remember those. So they're coming to line with 12 laps to go. Safety truck's still out there. Ugh. The 45 and the 11 go down pit road. The 52 goes down pit road. The 19 stays out. A lot of trucks do go down pit road. Well, this will be interesting. Does Tony Stewart win a 500 in SNL? Well, we'll have to wait and see what happens. Oh, great. What's going on with the 45? That is lovely. Okay. 45 just had air wrench broke on the right rear. Good Lord. I would love to see Tony Stewart win the 500 in SNL. Yeah, it'd be cool to see that. It would be really cool to see that, for sure. So I'd say Honeycutt's chances of winning are probably done for. Yeah, he was pretty close in 2008. Oh, bit of an issue on... Oh, bit of an issue on Corey Haim, too. Because the lug nuts was not on... Yeah, the lug nut wasn't on there. Oh, boy. So he and Honeycutt both had some issues. This finish is going to be... Yeah. Who knows how this race is going to end? So yeah, Eckes is still leading. Goofy off finish incoming. Honestly, it is the Truck Series, so wouldn't surprise me too much. There's Roger Carruth up there. How about that? He's got an opportunity to win this race. We'll see what happens. The UFL. Go Battlehawks. So let's see. And here comes Jackson Storm. Yeah. Alright, coming to the choose. So it's Eckes, Parsons, Carruth, Majeski, Ty Dillon, Maggio, Thompson, Sanchez, Friesen, Enfinger. I think the top 6 did not pit. Will we get to the finish, or will all hell break loose? Alrighty. Here goes nothing. And it's the rookie, Jackson Storm, from out of nowhere. Jackson Storm just shows up in the Truck Series. It's funny because his crew chief in Cars 3 was voiced by Ray Evernham. Or Ray Revernham, that was his character's name. All right. Pace truck goes down pit road. 9 laps to go at the restart. Let the games begin. Oh, God. The 75's about to die. Nope, never mind. How in the world did nobody wreck there? Oh, my God. I was for sure somebody was about to eat it. Carut blocks Sanchez. Sanchez to the inside of Carut for second. Heim is trying to work his way through, and he's passing cars left and right. He is definitely being Jackson Storm right now. He is definitely going to catch these guys. Good God. Sanchez trying to clear, and he nearly gets himself destroyed by doing that. Good God. I thought he was about to go straight towards the wall. Okay. Friesen is second. Heim is about to blast right past Eckes because he's got fresher tires than everybody. Meanwhile, there's all sorts of insanity going on in the back. Dario Franchitti. What if he never had his career ending crash in Houston? It would be interesting to see how the rest of his career would have played out for sure. Yeah, Corey Heim's definitely catching Sanchez. This one's over. Oh, what a shock. He is way faster than everybody else. I would be stunned if Sanchez held on. Matt Mills, where did he come from? He's up to 5th. Wow. Good run for him. Ooh, did I see some garbage on the front of Nick Sanchez's car? And Ty Majeski nearly destroyed Stephen Parsons there. Oh, Tanner Gray with problems. Tanner Gray with problems. We're still green. Four to go for Nick Sanchez, trying to hang on for dear life. Yeah, it was a street course, yeah. Man, how about Matt Mills, man? This will be a good finish for him if he can hang on. 3 to go. Nick Sanchez, who won at Daytona to start the season off, looking for win number 2. Connor Mozak looking to get around Christian Eckes. Eckes is going to get around Mozak coming off 2. Two laps to go for Nick Sanchez. Still hanging on. Of course, they'll collect that big bonus for the trip if he can hang on too. In the 3 and 4. Sanchez trying to hang on. Off turn 4. White flag in the air. Presented by Credit One Bank. In the 1 and 2. Nick Sanchez in that Gainbridge truck. Corey Heim in the Safe Light Toyota trying to get back up there. Sanchez looking for win number 2 on his career. In the 3 and 4 for the final time this evening. Off turn 4, checkered flag, Nick Sanchez wins at Charlotte. How about that? Second career Craftsman Truck Series victory for Nick Sanchez. He wins the 700th race in Truck Series history. Man, I was for sure Corey Heim was going to get him. I'm kind of surprised, but hey, I'm happy for Sanchez. That's pretty cool. Heim second, Friesen third, Enfinger fourth, Matt Mills fifth, Ben Rhodes sixth, Jake Garcia seventh, Honeycutt eighth, Connor Mozak ninth, D. Thompson 10th. How about Nick Sanchez? Good win for him. I'll tell you what, I think Nick Sanchez is definitely a future guy in the Cup Series. He's got a lot of talent, in my opinion. Sanchez going for the discount crown jewels. He's going to win IRP in Darlington, too. Yes, that's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. How about Nick Sanchez? I mean, the way I saw it, I mean, Corey Heim just looked like he was blasting past everybody and just couldn't get the one he needed to get. So, congrats to Nick Sanchez on getting the win. We have surpassed 3 hours in this stream. Goodness gracious. I admit, I'll do a few more minutes, but then I do got to get going here. So, yeah, big congrats to Nick Sanchez. Definitely some good momentum for him going into the summer. Perhaps he could be a championship contender this year in the Craftsman Truck Series. Yeah, I thought Corey was going to get to him, and it didn't happen, so... My instincts were wrong, which is fine. So yeah, a win at Daytona and a win at Charlotte. How about that, huh? Yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. Again, remember to 21-24. Come on now. 21-24 predictions. What are you doing? Bruh. Yeah, seriously, thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, it's been a lot of fun as always, chatting with you guys. Fun watching the truck race with you guys. Didn't get as crazy as I thought it would. Seemed like a fun race overall. Curious to see how the Xfinity Cup races will go for sure. Especially the 600. And of course, yeah, wins the Triple Truck Challenge Race 1. $50,000 bonus. How cool is that? Yeah. So, obviously, stay tuned for more information. Stay tuned for more updates. And remember to go vote for Fan Favorites Racing Infinity Volume number 25. The second rendition of the Fan Favorites. So, you got until the 29th to vote on what you want in it. And, we'll tally up everything and see who wins it. So, yeah, that was the 700th Craftsman Truck Series race. Won by Nick Sanchez. Alright, well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up here. So, thank you guys so much for tuning in as always. I appreciate all the support. And, yeah, we'll keep moving right along. And SNL 98 will be here before you know it. So, stay tuned for more information and all that good stuff. And I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. And all that good stuff, and a good start to your summers as well. And, yeah. That'll do it. So, yep. Take care, guys. Oh, and apparently, well, it's okay. Alright. See you guys.